Hey there, welcome to the QB Show. My name is Stacy Kildall, and my co-hosts are Woody Adams and Dawn Brolin. We want to ask you guys to take a couple minutes to visit each one of our sponsors and check them out. They've been helping us bring the show to you for the last 4 years. We have Avalara.com, making sales tax less taxing. They will calculate and pay your sales tax liability and take care of all of your returns as well. We have Tsheets.com. This is probably the #1 employee-rated time tracking application on the planet, if not the galaxy, and an amazing team of people behind it. We have Skyline Hosting by UniDataIT.com. This is where we host all of our QuickBooks software as well as our other software like Microsoft Office. So please take a minute and visit them, and I hope you enjoy our show.
5 minutes. Hey everyone, welcome to the QB Show, formerly Radio Free QuickBooks. I'll be one of your hosts for this evening, Woody Adams. And yes, it is still me, but you don't recognize me because of the short haircut, but we'll get to that later. 6:30 Central, and happy to have you. The holidays are upon us. If you're enjoying the holiday season already, happy holidays. And we're also going to have a show even next Tuesday, so we're just going to keep rolling on with the show. And tonight we have a really cool guest, Dan Lowell from Intuit Academy. We'll bring him on in a few minutes here. But on with me, I have to say my legal blurb. Okay. Opinion statements or views that I express on the show may not necessarily reflect the opinion statements or views of Intuit, and Intuit's not affiliated with the show, and I did not have to seek their approval for my haircut, which my wife did, and she gave me a nice buzz cut. I like it. I tried to go long. I was trying to go hippie like I did in my 20s, but those days are gone. I realized I had this big epiphany that ship has sailed, and that I should just kind of embrace my 47-year-old hood. And I like the short hair. It's a lot easier, and I'm kind of lazy. So it all works out.
Less blow dry.
Thanks for listening and watching the show. We also have Dawn and Stacy. And Dawn, before we go to Stacy and then Dan Lowell, how's it going for you? I see you're in the command center in Connecticut on a farm somewhere.
I am in the command center in Connecticut. I'm here with Wendy. Wendy, can you give a scream out there, sister? There you go. Wendy.
Nice.
Tell that woman I said hello. You tell her I said hello, and you give her a hug when this show is done.
I'm gonna hug her. She loves you. She's in here.
I love her.
I've been putting on the Band-Aids after I'm whipping her. You gotta hit them, Band-Aid. I'm just kidding. We just have a really awesome new client that we've been working on. It's just so much fun. I love when a business owner wants to build their business and not just stay in the same circle of the rut thing that keeps going. Yeah. And when they're actually real serious about it. It's just so much fun. And so Wendy said, Wendy, just go up to the office. We're gonna hang out today and work like maniacs. And so it's been super fun. And we have a big staff meeting on Thursday. I might be yelling a little.
No.
Big staff meeting on Thursday. The 5th hire will be here. I guess 6. I want to count myself like I hired myself. So we have a staff of 6 now, and I'm pretty excited about that. She's going to come and meet the team on Thursday. She starts right after the first of the year. And 2015 is going to be insane. Powerful Accounting is just killing it. We're crushing it.
Wow, that's great.
We're only hiring athletes. So
okay.
You're not an athlete, do not apply, do not pass go, nor collect $200.
Right.
But this one is a former high school and college basketball player. That's how we've been rolling.
Well, that's exciting, Dawn, and hello, Wendy. Thanks for joining. Maybe we can ask you a QuickBooks-related question later on if you're still there.
Put her on the spot. It's good for her.
Yeah, let's put her on. Now, Stacy is in the northern Midwest, but not in Michigan. Stacy, what are you up to?
So I am doing what's it called? So I don't know who's working camera, but if you click.
That's me.
Okay.
So
if you just let it go and you don't click anybody's camera, it'll move to whoever's talking.
Yes.
So what do you want me to do?
Click yourself again, I think.
No, I see you.
Okay.
I'm going to click Stacy, like that?
No, and now unclick me.
Yeah.
And I think we should be good. I don't know. So
awesome.
anyway, okay. So Because I always forget, because I always click on whoever is talking, and then it stays on that person when they're done talking, and so I forget. Okay, so I'm in Chicago, the Chicago area, and I'm doing live QBO certification training, which has been recently renamed as QuickBooks Connect Local. And so it's really, obviously, because it's only one day and it's very regional, it's just QBO certification. And so there's 2 trainers, and this is the first time, these events are the first time that we've done it this way, and it's so much fun. Michelle Long and I, we've never had the chance to do an event before, and we got to sit on stage together, and she did one module and kind of drove the deck and the demos, and then I sort of did color commentary and sort of made sure that she hit all of the necessary points, that we covered everything for the certification exam, and just kind of was like, oh, hey, and don't forget this, and oh, here's another, and just gave a different point of view, and it was so much fun. I think my favorite part was when she sent me an invoice, and I opened it up on my iPad because I was sitting next to her, and I left her kind of a weird message, like a, hey, what the what? And then sent her, I'm not paying that, so a message through the payment thing. Right. And then she replied back and called me a deadbeat. And so it was just really fun, and it was really neat to be able to show the audience that kind of real-time interaction when you send that invoice to a client or a customer. You know, so there's no more, like, I just busted one of my clients the other day who said, oh, I never got that invoice, and I'm like, dude, you opened it up in October. Yeah, you did. Like, I can see exactly when you opened it.
Right, because it shows like an audit trail for the transaction.
Exactly. Right? So you can see when they opened it, how many times every time they open it, like when they viewed it. So it's really kind of awesome. And so we were able to show that. She was like, oh, look, so, you know, this client opened it up at 1:55, and then I said, oh, you should refresh that because I sent you a couple messages. And so that was really super fun. And the audience seemed to really, really enjoy it. And it gave, instead of doing, you know, 4 or 5 hours of presenting by yourself, it gives you a nice break. So when you do have a little bit of a break, if you're presenting, you can go, you know, to the bathroom, because a lot of times when we do these events, we don't even have a chance to go to the bathroom. And I love answering the questions, but when there's like a short 10 or 15 minute break, one of the reasons we do that is so that we can go to the bathroom. But what happens is there ends up being like a line of 10 people who all have questions, and so this gives everybody kind of a break to do that. And then at the end of the day, people got certified, and I think almost everybody stayed to get certified. So it was really cool, really neat, and I'm just so ecstatic about being able to do it. But that's a good segue into the event Dawn is doing, and I'm actually going to close out and I'm going to step out of camera for a minute. So I'm going to let you and Dawn talk about the gig in Rhode Island before
we have a cool announcement and a really exciting QuickBooks Connect Local event. It's called Q Connect Local Providence, and it's being held on January 7th at the Omni Providence Hotel, which is a very nice hotel. I used to live in Providence, very sweet, and downtown. And that's January 7th. It's, you know, one day, and I'll get to Dawn in a second, but there's going to be several local speakers. We have some guest speakers like Ron Baker, Barry McQuarrie, MB Raimondi will be there doing some training on QBO, and also local Advanced Certified Pro Advisor Heather Satterley, who's also lives in that downtown kind of Providence area, and that's kind of where her base is. So she's going to be there as well. And I found out that both Heather and myself went to Tabor Academy in Marion, Mass., which is about 40 minutes from Providence. I found that out recently. So she's kind of helping us out with Trainer Writer Network too, and so that's very exciting. The title of the event is Future Proofing Your Firm. Okay, and also inviting a lot of vendors, T-Sheets, Tally, and Bill.com among the 3 key ones that'll be there. And these are some of the 3 most popular apps. I believe Dawn and Stacy use at least 2 of those. I'm not sure if you guys use Tally yet, but it'll be great to have that. And the cost of the event is free, and registration will be available by the end of this week, so stay tuned for further announcements. But it's called future-proofing your firm, January 7th, if you're in the Rhode Island, Connecticut, Mass area, Omni Providence Hotel. You can even just show up and just register there as well. And I think we have deals on the rooms too, but it's a QB Connect local in Providence, Rhode Island. So very exciting. Dawn, so what's up with this event? You're going to be there speaking as well, so tell us about it. What do you know?
Yeah, so it's actually going to be really exciting, and they're going to do some QuickBooks Online training, which will be awesome, and of course MB will be there, so everyone should be there if MB is there. MB's like, I don't know, what do you call that? Like the people who played football for, like, they're legendary. So MB is legendary.
I agree.
In the QuickBooks space.
Yeah, totally.
So MB will be there, and I'm going to be teaching a session for an hour on building the firm, and it's not going to be necessarily you know, technical QuickBooks type stuff, but very, very exciting. And the fact that, of course, T-Sheets and Tally, Bill.com, we use all of those.
Yeah, I figured you did.
And we're really excited about that, and it's going to be a rockin' party. And really, so my big goal is for anyone who's on the East Coast, it's before things get too crazy, that this is my thing. It needs to be a powerhouse event, because we want to show Intuit that New England, the East Coast, will represent when they come to town. So that is my personal private mission, because I'm so over going to California. I'm not gonna lie about that. Right. Because I don't know what time it is at all. I only know what time it is here in Connecticut or on the East Coast. So we have a mission, people. Team Brolin's coming. Team Brolin will be there, the whole team, and we're going to share everything and anything that we can. We're going there to learn. We're really, really pumped about it. But I am going to challenge in a major way the New England population of pro advisors, and the people who always say, oh, it's too far away. Okay, you know what? This is your opportunity to show up or shut up. Is that fair to say? Because that's what we talk in New England. That's what we say in New England. We're crying and complaining because we're flying across the country, or we got to fly here, we got to fly there. They're coming to us, people. So spread the word, tell your friends, bring your family. I don't care what you got to do.
Yeah.
But you got to come. I know the other thing they're going to do. They're going to have a small business panel as one of the other things that they plan on doing. I can't give all the details around. I'm just saying it will be worth your trip, because there's some other little logistical things and some surprises that we are going to rock it out. Very excited about it. But there's going to be a small business panel that will talk about how the small businesses are interacting with pro advisors, what are they expecting, you know, those kind of things, which I think is information that we don't typically get in the conferences we go to, where the small businesses are really giving some direct feedback about what they need and what they're looking for. And so it's a challenge, man. It's a challenge. Be there, or you know what? I don't even know. I'll come up with something for that.
That's great. So it's future-proofing your firm. Again, Don Brolin will be there, MB Raymundi, Barry McQuarrie, and Ron Baker.
Yep.
As well as Heather Satterley, and she's local, and it's QB Connect Local Providence, held on January 7th at the Omni Providence Hotel. And I'm not sure where you'll go to find out more info on that. I don't think there's a website for it or anything like that, or it's on Intuit Academy, which is a good segue. Let's bring in one of the key figures of Intuit Academy over the years.
I want to introduce Dan.
Okay, fine.
Bossy.
I know, I am. I'm all jacked up. Listen.
Shouldn't watch the show, but she's going to do the big announcement.
I didn't know I was going to be able to do the show because I was helping people get certified. I was helping people join the club, the special club. So I want to say I can't believe it's taken us this long to get Dan Lowell on the show, because Dan Lowell is the reason that Don Brolin and I are best friends.
Okay.
In the fall of 2010, Dan Lowell invited Don W. Brolin and Stacy I. Kildall to launch training in Plano, Texas at Intuit headquarters, and we happened to sit next to each other in that training room, and we have talked or texted each other almost every single day since that day that we sat down next to each other. So Dan is the reason that Dawn and I are friends, and ultimately the catalyst of the QB show getting started.
Yes.
So I want to welcome the one, the only, Dantastic, Dan Lowell.
Fantastic. Dan, thanks for coming on the show.
Fantastic.
You gotta love that intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is amazing, and I'm just happy to see that our grand plan back in, what was that, 2009, 2010, of getting you two together actually came to fruition.
Right.
Because that was all part of the plan. We even put seat assignments out there for you guys, just so you two would sit next to each other.
Yeah, we just happened to.
No.
And bring us the QuickBooks Connect show.
Yeah, no, that's exactly right.
Nice. My job is done here.
Right.
Right.
You're done.
You can like do the mic drop. Dan does the Eminem mic drop. He's like, I'm out. I'm done.
Done.
I love it.
Well, Dan, thanks for taking the time to come on the show tonight, and very exciting. So what? But I don't know if I think we've had you on the. I don't think we've ever had you on the show. It's first time, going on our 5th year, never been on, which is a huge oversight on our part. But can you kind of introduce yourself to the? I mean, people see you at the conferences. Hard to miss you and stuff, but kind of what's your role? How did you come into it? What are you kind of over?
Yeah, well, thanks, Woody. That's great. One thing I was going to mention, though, going back to Dawn talking about who she's hiring, athletes and college basketball players. Former college basketball player right here.
That's what I'm talking about. I would dump the ball inside to you all day long, Dan Lowell.
There you go. You see, I could really be a big asset to Team Brolin.
Listen, we're gonna talk later about that.
6'7", I can still play, man. I can still play.
I know it, and trust me, I can still shoot that rock 3-pointer. Ask Kelsey. She and I have a plan. We're starting our own team.
Great. So Woody, thank you.
Yeah.
So when you were saying before that I'm responsible for Intuit Academy, that's true. But I'm actually part of the ProAdvisor education and certification team. And that's really what I lead. Intuit Academy being a part of that. I've been here at Intuit for 7 years now. Just celebrated my 7-year anniversary just about a month or so ago, I guess it was. And it's kind of an interesting story about how I got here too. So I've worked in learning and development, basically, for most of my career. But at one point I left and went and started a small business of my own.
Right.
And at that small business, I used QuickBooks.
Yeah.
And had no idea what I was doing. Had no idea of what a ProAdvisor was and the value that they brought to a small business.
Right.
And I worked with an accountant who literally, it was like getting a tooth pulled every time I had to go work with him and bring him my or show him my QuickBooks files.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare, and I hated it. And so I would talk to people who'd come into my restaurant all the time, and there was the sales guys from Intuit would come in a lot since it was pretty close to the office here.
Yeah.
And I would just kind of talk them up, and they'd say, "Oh, Intuit," and I'd say, "Hey, what is it? What do they do?" And they're like, "QuickBooks." I'd be, "Oh, QuickBooks, damn it." QuickBooks. And they were like, "Well, you're not with the right people, And I was like, "Well, you guys need to get some training out there for QuickBooks."
Yeah.
And so it went, and eventually the restaurant, unfortunately, didn't make it. As usual, we ran just under 3 years, ended up going out of business. Started working across the street at another company, and was driving by Intuit every day to get there. And I just thought, those guys always told me what a great place to work, and they sure had a need for training, as far as I could tell. So I looked, and there was the job that I got. Right, I just looked that day and saw the job.
Wow.
Right.
So that is awesome.
I've been here for quite a while since then, though. But I mean, really, what it's brought to me, though, is the true understanding of what a ProAdvisor does and the value that they bring to those small businesses, and love the idea of trying to connect the two more. And I love how we're getting into that, more. So going back to what Stacy's working on right now with us is the QuickBooks Connect Local Certification Tour, and really kind of amping up not only the training for the ProAdvisors and getting them certified, but also bringing in that connection aspect along the way and the inspiration aspect that are all parts of all the components of the QuickBooks Connect bigger conference that was out in San Francisco. And I just love that idea of bringing them together and connecting people like that, but also helping pro advisors to learn and grow in using QuickBooks too. So great stuff.
I love it.
No. Go ahead, Stacy.
I'm really excited about this training. I really wasn't sure how this was gonna work. I mean, we've never done 2 people. And people have a lot of questions about QBO certification training, and we'll get into that in a couple minutes. We have a couple questions about advanced, but not too many, and just some about the general certification. So
Okay.
we'll get into those in a minute.
I just want to say one thing, that Dan, I apologize, but during that entire time you were talking, I was in control of the clicky thing, and so I didn't click to you because I don't know what I'm doing, and I apologize. So if Woody, if you would have been moving your mouth, you could have been doing ventriloquist. What do you call it? Trandiloquist? What's the thing? Anyway.
Yeah.
A voiceover?
There. So let's just take a look at Dan. There he is, because I didn't share him earlier. There is a man named Dan.
Yes.
Find that voice.
Yes. I'm here.
I apologize. I'm trying to. I gotta pay attention. This is hard.
The funny part was though, is I saw you moving around like you had the camera connected to your head or something. So I was
Well, I had to. There's a rule on the show. See cat drink. So I because Stacy didn't bring her cats with her.
No, I don't travel with 4 cats. It's
I walked over
cumbersome and annoying, so I leave them at home. I'm just gonna say.
So I tried to show the cat. He's over there. He's sleeping on the chair. He doesn't move.
nice.
Anyway,
Nice.
all right. Who am I supposed to be on now? Who's talking? This is not.
You cannot. You don't have to click, and it'll just
don't have to
switch back
click.
and forth automatically.
Oh,
Don't
good.
click. It just follows the voice. Yeah.
So much pressure.
I know. It's all right. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, it's okay.
So Dan, the local event, and maybe Stacy can help too. What does the day look like at one of these Connect local events? Because it's not like last year's city tour, right?
No, not at all. Yeah, we really tried to do something different, as Stacy's been alluding to this year. One, we wanted to bring the certification content out into a live setting. As the Pro Advisor program has grown and we've been moving to the cloud, we wanted to be sure that we're also expanding the way that we deliver all of our training. So via webinars, but also we wanted to do it live. So last year was more just kind of around moving to the cloud. This year is really more about learning how to use the product, and becoming an expert in using the product, and then going ahead and passing the certification and being able to get that benefit as a Pro Advisor.
Yeah.
But for this event here, what we wanted to do was really start to utilize a lot of the parts and components of the QuickBooks Connect conference that was just recently took place in October, and how do we kind of bring that to more local events? And again, that event was around Inspire, Educate, and Connect. So we wanted to bring that locally, and the Inspire part is we've got a roster of speakers lined up over the course of the 16 or 17 different events. That will start out the morning with the inspirational type of presentation.
Right.
We've got an educational component of it, which is the all-day training by Stacy and other advanced certified pro advisors who will be there to present on all the QBO certification content. We wanted to try and do something different there too. Instead of one presenter up there going on for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, we wanted the presenters to get up and work together and really let the audience know that we have 2 experts here training them and also there to help answer their questions versus almost like 2 separate presentations. So we wanted them to kind of be able to play back and forth a little bit and work with each other and helping to get across a lot of these concepts.
It was so much fun. I just want to
great.
say, I had a blast.
I'm glad that you're enjoying that part of it. And then the last piece is around that Connect. We've got developers who, and in some instances small businesses, who will be coming in, and they've also will be doing short presentation over lunch. They're sponsoring the lunches at these events, and then they've got like a little networking time afterwards. I think there might even be some drinks, some cocktails available.
They're just cans of soda, as you would say probably elsewhere, but we say pop. We call it pop in Michigan. So they're nothing like nobody's getting all shit crocked or anything like that. They're just there's some snacks at the end.
Not many cats down there.
There's no
snacks. So snacks and drinks, but there's time to also connect with developers and different apps that are available to people in the QBO ecosystem. So really trying to kind of bring a bigger experience together and hope that people get a lot out of it. And so far, the feedback that we've received has been very positive.
Now Stacy,
a little different than the Providence event that you're talking about.
Yeah, which
even though
is
they're
kind of
both
more of a mini
Connect.
Yeah, mini QB Connect. That's going to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, so the day went really. I had the privilege and the honor, and I want to thank Dan, you, and Kim Amsbaugh, and everybody for asking me to open it up with the Inspire. So that was really cool and really fun to be able to do. So that's what you start the day with, and then the first morning we try to get in all of Module 1 and all of Module 2 in its basic QBO certification. It's not. It's the regular QBO certification. It's not advanced certification. And so we try to get in Module 1 and 2. We were running a little bit behind, so I had to finish up the last little bit of demo after lunch. During lunch, if there are any apps that are there visiting, they're going to come up and they're going to talk to you, and you can connect with them and they'll tell you about their app. And they're all apps from apps.com, from the App Center. And then after lunch, we do modules 3, 4, and 5. And then we give you time to take the exam. And while Michelle and I walked around and kind of proctored the room, we didn't really obviously answer questions about specific questions. It was just how to access the exam and, so what happens after you get certified and things like that. So it was really neat. And we had people, they had from 3 to 5. Almost everybody stayed. And I came up here a half hour ago. It was 6:30 our time. We ended I was a little bit late finishing up. It was like 3:15-ish when I got done. And
late.
Huh?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. So and so we got done, and there were still people down there at about, I think maybe 2 or 3 people left at 6:30 who were just finishing up their exam. So, and almost everybody, they didn't get certified, it was because they had to leave before they finished, and they were like, I'm going straight home, I got to get home, my kids or whatever.
Right.
They all said, I'm going straight home so I can finish my exam.
And I think there's even some incentives for people who complete the exam on site too.
There are some incentives.
Some pretty cool little incentives.
So we had stuff that Intuit gave, but I think the what they loved the most was Cindy Schrader, who is local here. She's a pro advisor and she was on council. She stopped by and brought Christmas presents for me and Michelle and the Donnas, Donna Oman and Donna Duncan, some chocolates, and so we shared them. First come, first serve, and I think they were most excited about the chocolates that they got. So I'm just saying, they also liked the shirts. I'm not gonna lie, they settled for the one-of-a-kind, very limited edition QBO certified shirts, but they did like the chocolates.
Nothing beats chocolate. So.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's a couple things, but not many.
Well, that's awesome. And is there hands-on, or are you guys just kind of showing stuff?
So it's not really so hands-on. I mean, people can have their laptops, but we tell them you really don't need it till the end of the day. What I noticed was people who may have had their laptops or their iPads open at the beginning of the day, they ended up shutting those down and just taking notes. There was, I mean, like pages and pages and pages of notes, and some people were taking the notes on their iPad with their stylus, and some people were taking them with a handwritten, on notepad and paper. But I noticed most people were not using the laptops during the day, and so they just brought them out.
Hands-on is tough anyway to do, I think.
Hands-on is cat wrangling. It's really hard.
It is.
And another part of that was we wanted people to be able to have the power to still be able to take the exam after the training.
Exactly.
So if people were doing hands-on all day long without having access to power, then they might not be able to finish that exam. So we wanted to be sure that it's not hands-on, but save your battery power for the exam.
Right. No, that's good, and it's a lot easier on the presenters too, because that's real tough. for sure. I know. I think so. So you guys, sounds like you guys learned a lot from last year, and this sounds like a really great, QBO city tour, really.
Yeah, we're really excited about it, and we hope that everybody else out there is, and we hope they get a lot out of it. I mean, that is the goal. That's why we do this.
Yeah.
Awesome. And if you want to know more about the city tour itself, if you go to intuitacademy.com and click on courses by product QuickBooks Online, it's that first page. You can even see all the cities. I think we did 2 cities today, Chicago and Phoenix. And so some cities are doubled up with people. I think Bryce Forney was doing the Phoenix one. I know Emily Watkins was out there, a few other people. I'm driving down with some people to the Dallas one. Stacy will be there, but I guess my boss is going to be there, a couple bosses and stuff, and we're going to go check it out. And they have Houston. Yep, Houston will be down there. And so it's all over pretty much, a lot in California. But I'm really excited about this QB local event in Providence, so hook that up. Dan, there's not a website to go to. It's not, the Providence isn't on the Intuit Academy page, right?
It's not on the Intuit Academy page. It's got its own landing page.
Oh.
And I could get you the link to that later. I don't have a second, unfortunately.
That'd be great, and then we'll put it out on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
So January 7th, check that out. All right. So, Stacy, did you say you had some questions for Dan regarding certification you want to get to? Or?
I do have just a couple questions about certification, and they're specific to the advanced certification, but they're not really to
online advanced or
QuickBooks Online Advanced. And so what they're wondering is, let's see, here's the first one. Hold on. So how long is the first question is, how long is the QuickBooks Advanced certification? And I guess you could speak to both the regular QBO certification as well as the QBO Advanced certification, but how long is each one good for? So after you take the regular certification, you have to recert how often?
So if you take the QBO certification, you recertify every 365 days.
Okay.
So basically, whatever day you take it on, if you took it on, today, December 16th, and you passed, you would need to retake it again next December 16th.
Okay.
Or any time before that, because after the 365 days, you would run the risk of dropping off with that certification.
Right. So then what about advanced certification? So I just passed my QuickBooks Online Advanced certification last week or the week before. When do I have to, or do I just have that forever and ever?
So right now it's good for 2 years.
Okay.
Now what we're working on, though, is coming up with a way to have a ongoing certification. So not necessarily where we would do a recertification, create a new test and put it out there, a new exam and put it out there, anything like that. But really kind of trying to rethink how people stay certified and stay up on those certifications. So we don't have a definite strategy in place just this second.
Okay.
But we're working on some different things, and it will probably be different than the desktop model.
Okay, cool. And then the other, Beth Dame, well, I'll ask this one last. The question is, if we fail, so you get 4 tries, you get 6 tries for QBO regular certification, correct? Or how many tries? 4?
4.
Okay.
Yes,
for both. Okay.
Correct.
So if you fail for regular, either one, how about for regular and for advanced QBO certification? If you fail in the 4 tries, how long do you have to wait before you can try to retake it?
Well, so for the QBO certification, we would say a year, but it's really up until the next big update.
Okay.
As you know, the product is updated quite often, and what happens then is the certifications start to tend to get a little more stale or outdated.
Right.
So we try to keep those updated along the way throughout the year, but typically at least once a year we're going to have a major update. And if we put out, let's say you were certified, or you weren't able to successfully pass the certification exam today, and we put out a big update in next August, you could try again on that new one.
Right.
If it comes out next December, well then obviously you'd have to wait until December. But
right.
It's 1 year or until the next major release of an updated certification comes out.
Now, what about the QuickBooks Advanced, the QuickBooks Online Advanced?
So it'd be 1 year.
Same thing? Okay. Okay.
And to be able to access the QuickBooks Online Advanced, you have to be QBO certified.
That was going to be my next question is what does it take to be eligible to take? So with desktop, you have to have 3 years of desktop certification, but that's what I love about the QBO advanced certification is that's not the case. You just get certified and you're immediately, once you get your basic certification, you're immediately ready to be able to take the advanced certification. I just don't think, I've never liked that because what if you have been using, I don't think it's fair. I might have been using QuickBooks for 20 years, or I might, like, for instance, maybe I've been using QBO since it came out in 2001.
All compliance.
But I just found, wait, you let me talk, and then it'll be your turn. So, and you just found the QuickBooks Online, you just found the Pro Advisor program. I've never thought it was very fair to make people wait to get certified in 3 years, because if you can pass the advanced certification, what difference does it make? What difference does it make? I mean, somebody might have more, but like you might have somebody who's had 10 years of experience, but versus somebody who only has 3 years of experience, but that person who's only been a Pro Advisor and certified for 3 years, is eligible to take the advanced certification before. So I like that you don't have to wait, and that's just me.
You said I could say what I want to say.
You can. I'm going to step away, but I'm still listening because I have to get my charger because I only have 6%.
Listen, this is recorded, so you can watch it again if you don't listen to me. I'll make you. So the only thing that I would say about that is, number one, if you were not a Pro Advisor, so you're not eligible because you weren't part of the Pro Advisor program, then you don't deserve to take the advanced certification until you've been around long enough.
I don't agree.
I get that you may have experience and all the rest of that's fine. Number two, and I'm saying this against myself, I was a Pro Advisor for 4 years and never bothered to take the certification. And you know what? The certification, every single year I take the certification, I learn something new. And I think that no one is beyond learning something new.
I'm not saying that they're not.
I'm not. This is not me versus you, because trust me, I will just fly out there and beat your ass. Because look at me, I got my ass beating hat on. But listen. I'm just saying that I get that people have experience, all the rest of that. I'm also a very big supporter of the Pro Advisor program. That in a lot of ways that you can't just like show up to the party and expect to be the lead singer. That's all I'm saying.
Nope. Okay. We will agree to disagree. Then we agree to disagree.
Well,
same but different. Dan here, and Dan.
Same but different, and that's why we get along.
So Dan, we want to thank you for coming on the show, and it's a good show. It's fun when Stacy and Dawn start to get into it a little bit. And honestly, I don't have a dog in the fight. I spent today about 6 hours talking about QBO to various firms, large firms, and doing these big presentations now. And I remember you walked by when I was about to do one. And Dawn, it's interesting. Then about a half hour after the 6 hours of yakking about QBO all day, I had to jump on a desktop call, which was actually pretty refreshing, just to kind of do something different. So
Get up out of your chair, you mean?
Yeah, I just kind of was there, and I was like, hey, I'm in desktop now. Very fun. So you can do some of this stuff. So congrats on the QB Connect Local. The event's very cool. The certification. By the way, my link is up. I can now take the 15 exam. So I'm really excited about that. And then I'm also seeing a lot of Pro Advisor stuff within QBOA. I can actually get to all of my certifications there. That's where I saw it. I was doing a demo. I went into Pro Advisor, because I usually end with QBOA sessions. I was like, oh, cool, my 2015 certification link is ready to go, so I can take the exam. So I think we're still building it into QBOA, right? I mean, it's not like completely done. I think we're still building it in pieces, right? Is that true? Or?
The majority of it is done. There's some of the legacy certifications that we are still trying to make work properly in the QBOA environment.
Yeah.
So and that's been a little bit more of a challenge. I mean, this launch we just did from
can't be easy.
From a launch perspective was just massive.
Right.
But we are so set going forward right now just extremely excited, and clearly we understand that when you're switching out a database, behind the whole thing for a ProAdvisor, a learning management system which manages all the training and the certifications, the exams, reporting, all that kind of stuff.
Oh gosh.
Creating a new certification like QuickBooks Online Advanced, along with QuickBooks Online, along with QuickBooks Desktop, putting all that into a new ProAdvisor portal, and then putting all that into the product. It was just a massive effort, but in the end, I think it came across. There was some glitches along the way, clearly, and we're still working on a few. Woody, you experienced one. I know, Stacy, you've experienced a couple. Unfortunately, a lot of people, nobody was immune.
No, right.
We're working on getting each of all of them, taken care of slowly but surely. And once we have this thing moving forward, boy, there are so many opportunities here now, and it's such an easy experience to be able to access your exams and the ProAdvisor portal and
keep in mind too. Let's keep in mind too that I've been around for a lot of product launches, different changes launches. It's only 12 days from when we started this, so it's actually quite smooth in comparison from some of the other launches that I've been to over the years. So I think it's pretty cool, and I did see that kind of light, even though the fact that I can just come in as a staff on this QBOA realm. Let's say I'm working for Stacy one day. I sign in with my own login. I'm a staff. I work on like 12 of the lists. I know she would never hire me, but still, let's just pretend. I work on like 12 of the clients on the list.
I would hire you.
And then I can click on ProAdvisor and I can see my gold level, and I can, get to desktop as well as online cert, all through the one web. It's very consolidated. I like consolidation is what I'm seeing. I can see the efficiency there, and it's exciting. I think your word exciting is true. It is exciting. A lot of work, exhausting, but exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the ProAdvisor portal also, I mean, the work that was done there to make if you log into it from outside of the product or inside the product, it looks exactly the same. You're going to have the same exact experience. Yeah, and I think the redesign of that has also been is really exciting. When you first log in, right where you stand.
Do you know the link to the outside portal, Dan, offhand?
It's the same.
I don't think I've tried that yet.
Just ProAdvisor?
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same.
Oh, okay.
ProAdvisor.
Sweet.
Just looks exactly the same though now.
Yep, ProAdvisor.intuit.com.
There for you.
That's awesome.
And just as a heads up too, we've also got training for your clients coming out very shortly also.
Nice.
QBO training that you can use to train your clients whenever you want. The 5 modules that are there are available, will be available to everybody. You can use it you can just send it to them so that they can learn it. You can white label it and bring it to them like you did it, prepared it just for them. You can use it in any way you want.
I'm so glad that that's back, because we did that with the first QBO certification exam. I remember I went in with Trudy and basically kind of did some client-facing documents for to do that training. Oh, that's awesome! I'm glad we're bringing that's coming back. I'm very excited.
Very exciting.
It should be coming out. It should be coming out on the next Rev.
Nice. So there's no segue to this next question. I'm just going to ask it, and it's kind of funny that, and I didn't plant this, it just was on the Facebook forum. It was on Seth David's Facebook forum.
Oh,
Beth Damus is wondering how come, regarding the QuickBooks Online Advanced Certification, she's wondering how come we don't get chocolates when we pass, which I had no idea this question was on here when I gave away the chocolates today. So you don't really have to answer it, but I would say that because it's cost prohibitive for Intuit to send out chocolate to everyone who gets QBO Advanced certified. I'm just going to say.
If we can find a way to facilitate it, it can't be any more cost prohibitive than Starbucks gift cards, Amazon gift cards, ProAdvisor certified shirts.
I'll tell her to use the feedback button.
Certificates. We send out a lot of things to help people, celebrate the fact that they put in the time, the effort, and have actually successfully passed an exam. So chocolates is a learning for me. I've already got it written down here in my notes, Stacy. I learned it earlier from you. So
give away chocolate. I'm telling you. I love that. So, you know, you
Nice.
never. I tell her I'm gonna just say, Beth, please use the feedback button.
Done.
Lean over, Wendy. Say hello. Wendy's right here. Right here, lean. You gotta.
Where is she?
Can't you see?
Yeah, Wendy, there you go.
There, Wendy.
Get down. You gotta lean in there, bud. Whoops, hold on a second. Stand by lamps.
Everybody, hi.
What is up, Team Brolin? We come in the night, man. Look out. We are stealth. And
Nice.
actually put my badge in the Jeep, and it's there all the time. That's another little segue. But I want to say to Dan, honestly, now, first of all, Dan and I, we have dated. Not really dated. Not really dated. I'm just kidding. I've been married for 17 years, so it's not like that. And that's all good stuff. But Dan and I both enjoy similar dinner experiences, is I guess the best way that I would explain it. But I just want to say that I love that Dan is the one who has the vision and the persistency and the commitment and determination to help us get trained. As you said in the beginning, Dan, like when you were working, you know, as yourself in the small, how do I get some freaking help, man?
Right.
You know, and I feel that way all the time. You know, clients are always like, or people just, how do you know this stuff about QuickBooks? And I'm like, you know what? I've probably lost a lot of blood, and I'm gonna die early because there just wasn't training, you know, early on. And you know what, there was training, but I was, you know, I wasn't paying attention to it, hence the certification thing, which we won't go back into. But I'm going to get some boxing gloves. But those of us who are pro advisors and getting trained and are out there practicing and getting it done, I just want to say thank you from all of us, because without that training, Dan, without your commitment to continue to give us that training, that, you know, we really need it. And so I just want to thank you for that, because I know that you really are. You're out there. Your team is working very hard to provide that training. And Dee Dee, Dio, Lindsay, and people are out there really working hard to give us what we need.
Right.
And you know what? We're just thinking accountants, and we want more. And we're kind of bitchy people. I don't know what that is, but I want to say thank you.
Yeah, well, you're very welcome. It's, I mean, we love doing it. The team loves doing it. The team is extremely passionate about learning, about development, you know, about helping, you know, not, in the end, it's not just helping the pro advisors, it's helping the small businesses too. I mean, and that's the part that's just, you know, the team understands that and is passionate about that. Now, do we get everything right all the time? Absolutely not. You know,
we never get it right, honestly.
We'd like to try and experiment with different ways to do things. We try to do things fairly quickly to be able to help solve a need. So not everything is right all the time, and I wish it could be, and I apologize that it's not. But we do the best we can to put out the highest quality training and certifications that we can. And you know, one thing to call out is that actually got validated for us this year. By the Brandon Hall Association. We won 2 Brandon Hall Learning and Development Awards this year for the Pro Advisor program, for the Pro Advisor certification program, mainly QBO certification. So we were really excited about that, and we're excited that other big companies benchmark against us. You know, when it comes to training customers, you know, mainly for us pro advisors and non-pro advisors, but yeah, but we love what we do, and like I said, it's not always perfect, but if we find that pro advisors are finding value in it, we feel like we've done our job, and you know, we'll continue to find other needs and fill other channels with content.
That's awesome, and I also like how, you know, you really amassed a great group of writers. And that group's growing, which is nice, so it takes pressure off just a few.
Yeah.
But like, you know, I think Dawn said a lot of the names, but you know, Stacy and Laura and Michelle and Heather and Katie and there's a few others too. I'm missing one that was
Veronica.
new to me, but has been around a while. Yeah. Who helped write the certs and put in all that time. So I think that's great, and all the different presenters. Like, I love seeing Bryce out now at the road shows and leading those. I think That's a kind of a first for him, and it's exciting because he brings tons of experience as a pretty objective, objective guy on things, and so, but tons of great experience, and it makes it really relatable. And I also like the fact that you and this was one of the first times I've seen it at the recent VCon. You know, we haven't talked about the VCon that we just happened last week, the last 3 days. There was some large firm presence and large firm courses. So it's not just about a smaller accounting practice or even mid-sized. We had stuff for, you know, Clifton Larson Allen and Ide Bailey and Preston Nagel and those guys, you know?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and that was one of those things where we wanted to try again, just test something kind of quickly to see if we could engage and connect with larger firms in the same type of environment that we connect with a lot of the smaller and mid-sized firms. With our training in those environments. So yeah, the VCons are fun, and we have a great time with them, and we've got a great partner with them too. Working with Joe Woodard's events team.
Yeah, that was key.
You know, really helps. You know, and to your point, even working with all the pro advisors who agree to work with us, just that's what helps make us scalable. And I think it's also a testament, though, to the whole pro advisor community on how people, you know, pro advisors want to be able to help other pro advisors learn and grow. So it's not just about, hey, I'm learning, but they're also sharing. And at the same time as they're sharing, they're also learning. So it's that constant learn, grow, learn type of thing, you know. And it's what makes us scalable and be able to put out as much as we do. Because in reality, when you look at the Intuit education and certification team, we're really very small. I mean, just 4 of us. That's it. You know,
which amazes me. You should have at least triple that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What you guys do. You need to have a resource meeting. I think that's what you guys would probably call it internally, if in Intuit speak. You need to have a meeting about resources, because I think Dan Lowell needs at least twice the staff, twice the team that he has.
Yeah,
so I just want to say thanks, Dan. I know you came on short notice. I really appreciate it. We'll let you get going and do what you got to do. We have about 9 minutes left of the show. I want to say thanks. You can hang around if you want, but
I'll just hang around in case a question or something, in case you have a question somewhere.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much for having me, and I feel like I finally hit the big time now. You know, like I'm on QuickBooks.
I can't believe it took us this long. I mean, because Dan, you are the reason that Brolin and I mean. The love affair started because we just sat down next to each other in that room. And every time I'm in Plano, I'm in the offices, I have to stop outside that room and take a picture, or at least spend a moment in, silent appreciation for those 2 chairs right next to the window, right in front of the window where Dawn and I sat. So I want to announce the winner, too. We are giving away a winner. There was a little bit of scheduling conflicts. We originally were supposed to give away something else, but I think we're giving away something awesome this week. We're actually giving away the first ever. I just ordered them. They're gonna. I'll ship them out to the winner after Christmas, and we have a couple, so we might maybe give some away again after Christmas or after the New Year. We are giving away a QB Show hoodie and a zip-up hoodie.
One of those?
And I'm so excited to be giving this away.
What do they look like?
So they're just going to be like heather gray. I tried to order green, but because our logo is green, I talked to the art guys and they said it wasn't going to look good. So it's going to be a light heather gray.
Oh, that's nice.
With the QB
heather gray is good.
Yeah, who doesn't love a heather gray, right?
Gray.
So it goes with everything, like a good pair of jeans. So it's going to have the QB Show logo on the front and then on the back. And I'm the winner, and I think this is pretty awesome. Totally random. I used random.org to choose the number, and I'll put the screenshot up. It's actually Eric Greenspan, who I know, right? So Eric Greenspan is actually Seth David's partner. They work together on SOB, on School of Bookkeeping. And so Seth and I have been emailing each other basically back and forth about how we're giving something away to a hoodlum. So we're giving a hoodie away to an SOB hoodlum. So Eric won. We just tweeted it, and I have his contact information. And as soon as I get the sweatshirts delivered to my house, I will send them out to Eric. So I want to thank Eric for and just for supporting. And again, next week we have Avalera. They're going to be on, and they have a swag bag to give away. And then for the last one that we're going to give away is on December 30th, and Chris Repetto from Intuit is going to come on, and he's going to talk about QuickBooks Connect 2015. He has something amazing to give away. And so we're probably going to do something a little bit more than just making you like a Facebook page. I'm supposed to talk to Chris, so stay tuned. I'm going to announce that on Facebook and on Twitter the next, probably before the next show, and then talk about it on the next show. But still, for next week, all you have to do is go like our Facebook page. If you go to Radio Free QB or you go to theqbshow.com, up in the top left-hand corner is the link to our Facebook page. Just go like it, and then what we do is I take the list every week, and I put it in Excel, and then I have either ask somebody who's near me or who I'm on the phone with or I'm texting or whatever, or I go to random.org and I pick a random number, and then whoever that number is in the Excel list is the winner. So we do it very, very simply. But for the QuickBooks, the Intuit prize, you're going to have to do maybe a little bit more. You might have to put forth a little bit more effort, but not too much. And Dawn has something, and I'm going to just be done for the next 5 minutes talking. For a couple minutes.
A couple things to say. Number one, the quote of the day today was, I had to talk to a client, Wendy can vouch for this because she was present, talked to a client today who emailed me panicking from an IRS notice, and she was saying how nervous she was about opening it. And my line to her was, I've never seen them put a snake in the envelope, so you can actually just, just go and open up the envelope, and you can read what's in there, and then you can provide it to me, and then we can know what the problem is or the solution or whatever's going on. And I just think people are cute. Like, they don't put snakes in IRS notices. Just open the freaking envelope, man. Open the envelope. So that was what happened. One of the things that happened today. And I think it's very important that people realize that. That's one of my one tip. The other one is the Affordable Care Act. Just be careful. We have to advise clients, and they ask us questions often. Should I take the credit throughout the year? Should I wait until the tax return is done? And my response to my clients has been, this is by my recommendation, that you can take the credit throughout the year if you want to, but don't be all hollering at me if you owe money back at the end of the year. So that's another little thing there. Those of you who, of course, with the Affordable Care Act, which has been a blessing in my household, because I love that my premium doubled and that I'm still paying for all my health care when I actually go to the doctor. So all of that is worked out really well in my house.
Remember, Dawn, it's not that they misspelled the word; they misused the word. Okay, it's very important to know.
That was so classic when I posted that. I'm not going to get into it because I seriously, then I start getting all what we call shit.
I know.
But anyway, but be careful on that. Warning. But I will say that exciting 2015, which we're going to talk about over the next couple weeks, and people, you watch Facebook and you read quotes and you read books and you see things about 2015 or about the next year and planning. And I just I've been doing this accounting thing, well, what is apparently professional, for 15 years, and Wendy's in there giggling. I can hear her giggling. I'm really, really excited about 2015 for so many reasons, and part of it is realization and reflection of knowing, where I've been, what's happened in the last year for my company and for my clients, and listening to what clients are saying they want and that kind of stuff has been really, really eye-opening for me, and I'm super pumped about 2015, and I think
me too.
Kickoff. I'm just saying about the big kickoff for 2015 is Woody's new hairstyle, and what will be Dan's new hairstyle in just a couple hours.
That's right.
But we are doing a lot of reflection here, Powerful Account. I'm yelling. I'm not really sure why, because Wendy says I never yell. I'm not much of a yeller. I'm pretty calm most of the time.
Really?
Not very reactive. I'm kind of like very passive in most of my life. But I'm just saying, like, seriously, I just encourage people, if nothing else, for the next 2 weeks, to really sit back and think about what you really want to do in 2015 and find out what fires you up and friggin' do it. And take the time to plan for it and make it happen.
That is exactly what I talked about this morning. That was my Inspire thing. And I talked about how...
I sent my idea to you.
Oh, no, I don't think so, honey bunny. But that would be awesome. It's because we're the same but different.
Correct.
We're the same but different. And that's really what I talked about. I talked about how when I first started my business, I really didn't have any kind of idea what I was doing or any plan. And then, along the way, we sort of got off the path and maybe took on some clients that probably weren't the best fit for us. And this year, I realized I took my own advice that I give to my clients, and that's that I did not start my business to do marketing, and so we got some help and we got focused, and we have specific goals that we want to hit in 2015 and really specific things that we want to do. And at the top of that list is, and then I'm going to say this and we can end the show, the top of the list for our goals in 2015 is we do not want clients that suck. But we have specific number goals, but above all,
good, Stacy.
We do not want clients that suck. We want clients that are going to respect us, the respect that we have families, respect our time, respect our experience, respect our service that we offer. And that is, I love that you just brought that up, Dawn, because we are the same but different. I love it.
It sounds like the moral of the story, and then we can just shut her down, is that sometimes you got to ask yourself, are we on the right track here?
You do.
On the right track.
And just kind of...
Because we all have hopes and dreams, Woody.
Because we all have hopes and dreams. And,
is, you know what? I'm just going to say, before the end of the year, can we please somehow, and only Stacy could probably do it because I know I can't.
I'll do it. I'll make it so.
Make it so we can play that, because that is one of the best call-ins ever.
Um,
I'll make it so.
Just got to ask yourself. All right, well, Dan Lowell, we want to thank you for spending the whole hour with us and coming on and
him up!
You know, giving us your best. It's been a long day, and you've been busy with a lot of things, but it all looks like it's rolling.
Thank you for having me. It's been fun.
We love you,
great.
Dan.
You know what? I just want to thank you, Dan, for introducing me to Don Brolin.
There you go.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome. It's the least I could do.
And you know what we're going to do in thanks to that is send you some freaking curtains. We're sending you some curtains. Newbie show.
Or better yet, send me some help to unpack the boxes in my office.
I was thinking it. Not gonna lie.
All right.
All right.
Man.
We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Peace
right
out.
On. Have a good one. Okay.
Throw away thumb drives, no attachments. Get the files anywhere when you're permitted access. What's the matter? Frustrated with the hassle? Jump up in the cloud and join us in the castle. High up in the cloud.